Well, hello everybody. It
What's happening? What are we doing?
we're my background is in honor of Valentine's Day, which is creeping up on us. And it's that time of year where they sell more flowers on Valentine's Day than any other. Well, no, wait a minute. I have to take that back. I think Valentine's Day used to be the biggest day for sending flowers. Mother's Day has surpassed it.
I could see that. I could see
Yeah.
that. Um,
But it's a
it's
Valentine's Day
still a
is a
big
big
one.
time for flowers, candy, and going out, whether it's just with a date or whether it's with your wife, significant other. But it's a big day,
Yeah. Yeah.
and so are there any particular places that you got a Valentine date you're going to go out? Where would you go?
Yeah. No, man. Look, I don't. Yeah, okay.
Either
Uh,
mainstream or something that might be a little bit off the edge.
well, I think there's a lot of cool things, and I think people get lazy, mostly men.
Make a
But I
reservation at a restaurant.
yeah, like let's get a reservation. Yeah, okay. And look, if that's your thing with your person, I'm not putting that down, but I think even if it is your thing, sometimes you got to switch it up a little, you know?
Yeah.
Um I there's a lot of cool places in Dallas. And the DFW, at least for me. So one of the things I think about is places I want to have fun at too, right? We are both going to have fun together. There's this place called the Sweet Tooth Hotel. No, they don't rent rooms by the hour. Um, but it is a really cool music venue, cocktail lounge vibe. But what it is they have the Dreamland art exhibit, and it's these 12 or 15 immersive local art exhibit rooms
That's
that
cool.
are interactive, that you're part of, that make for great pictures, that are not your typical museum art. Like they literally have this giant plushie room where you are surrounded by plushies and you have to walk through the room to get to the plushie exhibit. Like very fun stuff. And then you can go outside to the lounge and there's some cocktails. They have live music. So like you have this really kind of
An
cool vibe.
immersive
And
type of a thing. Yeah.
yeah, and it's something different that you're not going to see on a regular basis. I,
That sounds pretty cool. Yeah.
yeah. I thought that was cool. You know, another thing that you can do is go axe throwing,
I,
right?
I
How
used
cool is that? So instead of going to play darts or pool, you go throw axes. Who doesn't want to throw an axe at something? I don't know.
I hope that you have a really solid relationship before you go to a place like that or a gun club.
Well, yeah, you
You
don't go
know,
near guns, but
you because you might implant the wrong message in your partner.
well, yeah, but I mean, it's you think about like all these little fun games like go-karting, that's fun. You think
Yeah,
like, but then I'm like, okay, axe throwing, super fun, and also like you want to talk about like breaking the ice, somebody who might feel weird, but then once you get into it,
yeah.
you're kind of having a good time. You're sipping on cocktails, you're eating some wings, or what I like. That could be a very fun, and again, it doesn't have to be your only part of the date. It could be an addition to another part of the date or something like that. I don't know. What do you got?
Well, I mean, I would just think that if you do something like that with your spouse or your significant other, and on the way out they say, I really enjoyed that. I think we ought to buy an axe.
Then maybe you met your wife.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe it's done.
yeah.
I think it's a
My
good.
my
I don't
wife,
know.
my wife, the axe thrower.
Hey, could be worse.
I
It could be your ex, the axe thrower.
well, that's yeah. I mean, spa dates are always something that can be different and unique if you don't do that on a regular basis. You go
True.
out for a nice massage or a whole day kind of a thing with that might include food too.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
I'm not there. I mean, there's some couples that like to go visit a sex shop or something like that, or go to a
Yeah.
strip club.
Usually you do that, you guys go buy some stuff. You go to the shop beforehand, you go to the strip shop, and then you just go back home.
Yeah, that's right. And although you could probably end up spending the same amount of money as if you went out for a really nice dinner.
No,
Uh,
definitely. But still, I mean, anyway, I'm going to
there
stop. We're going
was
to
one
get
that I
canceled.
thought that probably could be a pretty cool idea for a Valentine's Day, and that's to go to a psychic.
That could be fun. That could be fun. Yeah.
You know,
Something weird, different.
yeah, somebody that just tells you what the future is going to be, what your past was. Although if they say, there's always that, oh, were you planning on going anywhere next year? And the psychic says, you might want to move that up a little bit.
Yeah. Or they look at you and they say, "Hey, didn't I see you last year?"
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And
Like,
I and I
that's,
don't think you were with the same woman.
yeah, I don't remember that. And then you can take some of the obvious fun things and put a spin on it. So,
Yeah.
I love putt-putt golf. I haven't gone in a while. I need to go. But they have putt-putt golf, but then they have glow-in-the-dark putt-putt golf. So
Yeah.
you go where it's neon at night and it's different obstacles. And so it's still that fun, but now they're adding that other layer to it. And again, you can make that a thing. You could go to the putt-putt golf course and then say, okay, afterwards, there's a place in Dallas called the Cidercade. And the Cidercade is by Bishop Cider. And you go in and you pay like nothing, like literally nothing. They
Really?
got great food. They have all the ciders on the wall, all the different flavors of cider, and you're playing retro video games while you're drinking the cider and while you're, eating some food. And it's a local cidery, and you could really have some fun with that,
Yeah.
where it's not a bar, it's something interactive and
Well, that's like Flick's Brew House, a
yeah.
spin on just going to a regular movie theater. It's a place that serves craft beers, and you can have it either at the bar or you can have it delivered right to your seat while you're watching a movie. I mean, the movie a movie as a Valentine's
Not a good idea.
not a good idea because you're really not interacting with each other. If you want to do something together like that, you better off going for a nice walk, go for a bike ride through a forest preserve or something like that. That's a cool option too to get away to do something that's kind of quiet and away from the public. Aquariums and museums can always be good, depending on if you're going on a date for Valentine's Day or you're even going with your spouse, to go to a different kind of a museum. Aquariums
Well,
are great. I
that's what I was saying. So in Dallas at the Perot Museum, they do night at the museum, and it's from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. every Thursday.
uh-huh.
And the Science Museum, they keep its doors open. You can explore the exhibits. They have food trucks. They have stations for different cocktails, and you could buy a cocktail, and it's for adults. So it's literally 21 and up. And you could really kind of experience a museum in a different way, which puts a completely different spin on it.
Yeah, I mean it's February, so a lot of parts of the country are a little bit, colder, especially up
True.
north, and also doing inside things like, I also think a great evening is karaoke or going to a comedy club and all
Comedy
because
clubs are good.
you know
Comedy clubs are good.
break away from the everyday and sit and laugh and have something to eat and drink and everything, and it's a nice environment and other people to hang with. That can be
There's That would be a good idea too, because it's going to be fun. You know what I mean? You're
right.
going to laugh. You're probably going to get made fun of too, which is great.
Yeah, Yeah,
You talked about movies. If you're gonna do a movie, then you can't go to the movie theater. You gotta find something unique. So a lot of times they'll have, different parks, obviously in some of the warmer weather where they do movies at the park. There are some places up in the Midwest. It all depends on weather, but they have movies and you're in an igloo where you have your own private igloo. You've got you can see through it, and you've
well,
got
that's
this little,
cool.
you got your food and charcuterie board. You're watching the movie. It's almost like a drive-in movie, but you're outside in an igloo. Like there's some really cool, fun things to add to that movie, or maybe if we're lucky enough, like we are down south, where you get this retro. This or not retro, you get this weird weather, and they have these movies where they're like, hey, we're going to show Jaws at the Dallas Aquarium. Like a totally different vibe, you
Right.
know?
Yeah, or
It's
you
kind of
take one
fun.
of the old, love movies, Love Story or something like that, and you show that at a particular theater or so for people that want that nostalgic kind of aspect to what the holiday is.
Right. Like,
I would not suggest that you go to see on Valentine's Day to go to see St. Valentine's Day Massacre.
no, or maybe JFK at the sixth floor museum. They probably frown on that.
Yeah, right. Bookstores could also be another place to visit, and there are bookstores like some of the Barnes and Noble where they actually have events going on within the bookstore setting too.
Well, that's why you find, like we talked about earlier on a previous show, one of the local smaller bookstores, and sometimes
Yep.
they'll do like coffee and books or a meet the author or, something kind of cool like that, especially if you're into that sort of thing. And maybe you don't even
Yeah.
know if you're into it until give it a try.
Exactly.
Shakespeare in the park, there's a lot of times they do Shakespearean plays in the park. That could be fun,
Yeah.
unless you're in Michigan and it's
I was
negative
going to say,
20.
unless you're in Michigan or Minnesota or something like that.
Then it's just Game of Thrones up there.
Yeah, yeah. Or Polar Express, they're showing on the screen.
But there are multiple states that I've looked at that have really cool indoor gardens and they have really cool butterfly gardens so that you could go and no matter what the weather, do a nice stroll and sip through a garden and go to the butterfly house where not only are you going to learn, but I'm sorry, man, even a dude like me feels like Snow White when butterflies are flying around and landing on my bald head. It's a something special.
Yeah. But you can be creative. Now, what I would frown upon, and we've followed it over the years, is there are lots of restaurants and everything that have a Valentine Day package, and
Yes.
it includes wine and dinner and drinks and almost like a New Year's, but that can be very, very pricey. And also, I don't think you really have that intimacy of something like you said, going to an indoor garden and all, and just strolling and walking and sharing and stopping and sitting down on a bench for a little bit. That's a little bit more of an intimate, relaxing, interactive kind of a time.
In my life of dating or whatever, twice, twice on Valentine's Day, we went to dinner. Now, the first time, not whatever, that's a long time ago, but in the not long time ago, I did that because we went to such an early dinner. It was this really awesome seafood place in Dallas. They had it was like right when they opened. And they had a special, and it was one menu, and you paid. I think we ended up paying like $150. But we got champagne, amazing food, and we were done before the rush
Before the
came. And
crowd.
then we went out and did our own thing. We went and bar hopped. We went and saw some live music. We
That makes
literally had
sense.
change of clothes in the car. I think we got a hotel down there. I don't remember, but we had change of clothes in the car and just changed to go bar hopping. One of the coolest Valentine's Day I've ever had. I mean, the person sucked, but they do now anyway, not at the time. But Yeah, it was fun. So I mean, there are ways to do it, but don't get wrapped up in paying those prices going to those restaurants, guys.
You know, either that or go to the florist and all and buy a bunch of roses and scatter petals from the front door to the bedroom.
No.
Yeah.
You might as well, at that point, you might as well go to the restaurant because those roses are 30% higher than they were a
Well,
week ago.
that's true.
And now you're just throwing them on the ground. So, and and
But
then now her allergies are
but
acting
that
up.
that's something that you do if you did that once, 20, 30 years ago, and you want to kind of revisit one of your
Uh,
favorite Valentines, which they say that's something to do sometime, is that if you're going with somebody that you have been with for a while, to plan a revisit of a place that you've been, many, many years ago, or something that you did. I mean,
yeah,
the cruise lines always have big deals for Valentine's Day cruises too. If you want to, and sometimes you can go on a cruise for a week for what it would cost you at one of those fancy hotel, dinners.
true. And the alternative is, look at Valentine's Day and do something the week before, or, and then just keep it at home. Whatever you want to do, but
Yeah.
there are options. There's creative and men and women out there. I implore you to be creative and have some fun. If you're going to celebrate it, there are plenty of couples that say, we don't care. We just do what we want. No problem. But if you're going to celebrate it, have fun with it.
Right. And don't forget the Hallmark card.
Yeah, yeah. Guys, I will be at work on Valentine's Day. If anybody would like to come see me with coffee or chocolate or just really anything, I will be there.
Yeah.
So,
And if you really want to be nice to Brandon, bring him some roses
mm, no, if you want to be nice to me, buy some of the wine that I'm selling that day and
and
go home and,
stick around to uncork it.
yeah, uncork it or just go home afterwards, and that'll be great.
All right. Have a great Valentine's. We'll catch you again next week. Bye.